everyone. Happy Friday. I am so excited because today we're doing a student interview with one of our students, Terri'll, and she is in our current cohort that is about to graduate not next week, but the week after. So I'm really excited to talk about her experience, all of the things that she has learned being in the cohort, all of that good stuff. This is like a fun part of the program when we get to the end because people are going through transformation sessions. There's a lot of subconscious reprogramming, so it's super fun to talk to students when they're kind of in this kind of like last phase.
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
good. How are
I'm
you?
good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, I was just telling everyone that you are in the final stretch of your cohort.
So close.
It is so crazy. I feel like when you're at the starting point, it just seems like this big mountain and there's so much content and there's so many weeks to go. And then you get here and it's like, oh my gosh, everything flew by.
Yeah, I feel like just I was talking yesterday in the cohort. I was like, I can't believe we're almost done. Like, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it just flies. And being a part of the cohort, like I feel like you guys have such a tight-knit group. So it's so nice to have watched everyone kind of go through and all those things.
Yeah, I wasn't sure with it being on Zoom, like how we were really gonna connect, but it's been really nice to see like we've really just built this awesome community already. So it's pretty awesome.
I love that. Okay, can you start by introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about you, all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so my name is Terri'll. I currently am doing coaching in mindset manifestation. My business name is Mindset Over Hustle, with the idea that you should be able to call in your dream life, whatever that looks like, without the hustle and grind culture. I don't believe that you have to work really hard for what you want, but that when you align with it, it just kind of flows naturally. So I help women, primarily busy moms, kind of call in what they want and get crystal clear on that beyond what society tells us we're supposed to want. So, yeah, that's me.
Oh, I love that. And Teriel, how did you get here? What was kind of your journey into building your business?
Oh gosh, it was a really long journey,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So I actually started going to school for psychology back in 2012. I knew that I wanted to be in mental health, and then um, life kind of lifed. I had to take a break from that, and I found myself just getting really frustrated. I felt like I was working so hard, but nothing really was ever sticking. Like I was definitely caught in that like hustle, grind, work really hard, and you're just gonna get what you want. And I felt like I was achieving all these goals, hitting all these things that people were telling me were supposed to be amazing, but I didn't feel fulfilled. Um, and the more that I kind of tapped into what I wanted, the happier I got. And then I was like, well, I want to help people do this, but I don't know how.
Hmm.
So back in, it was like 2017, actually, I started doing Reiki with this girl, and just like everything about her was amazing. The way that she asked questions, just everything that she embodied. And I continued doing Reiki with her and kind of like just diving into more of like my own personal journey. And then I found that I was manifesting everything, but I couldn't really figure out why after I had my daughter, I kind of got in this space where I wasn't doing it anymore. I was just kind of back in the survival rate. And so I tapped back in with the girl that does my energy healing, and I started working with her, and then fast forward to last year, um, I actually prayed and I said, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of working this hard. Like, I know it doesn't have to be this way. Just show me a way. And literally the next week, I lost my job. And
Oh,
it
that's
was,
crazy.
yeah. And I was like, no, no,
Right.
no, not that. So I quickly found myself in like what we often refer to as a quantum crumble. Like lost my job, but I was in property management, so that meant I was like also lost my home and just had to start from like the bare basics of everything.
Right.
And I remember sitting one day and I really thought like, you've let everybody else write your story down to everything. Maybe it's time to write your own story. And so I started looking in and I kept getting people saying, like we always come to you for advice. And I was like, maybe I can do coaching. Like maybe that
Hmm.
is something. So I reached back out to the girl who does my energy healing. She just happened to be doing another community and she told me about Yes Supply. And so when I looked into it, I was like, this is it. This is what I need. Because I love EFT. I have been using it already. And then, sorry, my daughter just flew. And so yeah, I just kind of dove in.
Hmm.
Um, and I've been like beyond happy with it. So yeah.
Okay, wow. That is a huge journey, right?
Yeah.
From like the hustling the corporate. Okay, it's so interesting that like your answered prayer came in like a completely different way than you were expecting,
Oh yeah.
but that it led you to this moment. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Oh, can you sit down, please? Hi, you can't be on the film. Can you go over there, please? So sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, I can help you with that in just a second. Can you go play with the Barbies? Thank you.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh, what a sweetheart.
She's so sweet. She's like, "Do you have an interview?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it definitely was like a very long journey.
Hmm.
But I think that even in that, all the experiences that I got and the things that I had to go through kind of helped me because I think that I feel like I've lived like 20 different lives, honestly.
Right.
And so I feel like when dealing with like other women, I can really like empathize with a lot of things because I've been through so much.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so you found the Yes Supply page. What made you say yes?
Um, Honestly, the science behind it.
Okay.
I um so I am back in school with my bachelor's in science for psychology. And
Wow.
so that's just I think reading the scientific articles and seeing the research behind it um made me really comfortable with it and the
Hmm.
idea of investing in it. Because I thought that, not only can I help people in the interim, but when I do become a licensed therapist as well, like I can still use these modalities.
Totally.
And it's something that is, like I said, science backed. So you don't have to, it's not completely woo woo. I love woo woo.
Hmm.
But I think that it's easier for people who are more hesitant to kind of see something that's more neuroscience based.
Totally. Okay, so is that the end goal to get your license in therapy?
For right now, but I'm
Okay, I love
also
that.
very open to other things. So I think the end goal is honestly just doing what best serves my community, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
I would love to get my license in therapy just so that I can kind of expand my scope and be able to help even more people.
Hmm.
But as life has shown me, who knows?
Who knows? Okay, I love that you're open to all the opportunities being dropped in. That's so
Yeah.
exciting. Okay, Terri'll, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Yes Supply? Any big highlights or shifts or anything exciting that's happened in the cohort?
Gosh. I think that like I'm a therapy girly, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm definitely a girl who is like I'm in school for it. I have spent years in therapy myself.
Yeah.
And I think even doing EFT by myself and doing these practices, I don't think I was fully prepared for just how much it cracked me open, like in the most like beautiful, vulnerable way. Like um, I realized just the power behind like actually tapping into the subconscious.
Hmm.
Hey, shh, please.
That's okay.
So for me, yeah, it was just really tapping into the subconscious was really powerful. I think that even in like neural energetic coding, I had like a really big breakthrough where I realized that like one fear that I thought that I had was an entirely different fear. And so being able to like go back to that and kind of tap in and allow my nervous system to kind of get comfortable around that other fear.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's so many breakthroughs. I could honestly talk forever, but I would just say like allowing me to kind of like tap in and crack open that like level of vulnerability that I needed to see like the huge shifts.
Oh, I love that. It's so interesting, like specifically with neural energetic encoding, like you're talking about. Sometimes you go back and you realize it's a different fear than you thought it was, or it wasn't even your fear to begin with. Like it's just been
Yeah.
passed down. There's so many nuances.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting. I love it.
Okay, I love that. So, do you have any favorite techniques? I know this is such a hard question to answer, but is there any right now that you're just like, I love this?
I think my favorite is EFT.
Mhm.
Um, I am a little biased towards it because it's kind of like my first modality that I learned that I could do on my own. Um, but I do love EFT. I think that it's a really great starting point for people who aren't used to kind of letting go and might not be able to really experience like visualization or anything. Um, I just really love it for like so many different reasons. But yeah, I think like calming the nervous system and getting it comfortable with those changes is another reason why I really love it.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. It's so nice to have tools where it's like it's mindset and you're doing the mindset things, but then you're also dealing with the somatic and the nervous system and all of these different things. So
Hmm.
EFT, like you said, is a really easy, accessible way to kind of incorporate both of those things and that people can just do and learn by themselves,
Yeah.
like out of session.
Right. I think that it empowers the client more because
Hmm.
they don't need you as much. I mean, it's great to do those breakthroughs, but I think like what you guys teach in class, like you want to empower your clients. I think EFT is a great tool where you if you can read and you can tap, you can do this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry if you're doing it right. So it's something that I love to give my clients as a script after we walk through so they can continue to do it at home.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's just it. It's so empowering, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be the crutch in terms of like people needing you
Right.
to feel good. So this is a really easy tool for to kind of like give your clients. So you kind of knew EFT before you came in. Do you actively use EFT? Do you have like a beautiful routine or like what's your vibe?
Um, I do EFT every day.
Wow. Okay.
When I do it, I'm a single mom, and so I've had to quickly learn that my morning routine is not going to look the same. My evening routine, just everything's going to look different day to day based off of what my needs are and what my daughter's needs are. And
Mhm.
so that's something that I teach as well with my clients is you don't have to have the perfect, beautiful meditation, devotional work every single morning. Sometimes that's not realistic. Um, and so I love EFT for that reason. I know that I could even just be sitting in my car for 5 minutes before I pick her up and just tap in. There's times where I might be starting to feel anxious and I'll just start tapping on my wrist and just start kind of pushing myself through it. So for me, having a history with anxiety and trauma, it's been really powerful for me for like an everyday, just kind of reminding my body to calm down
Yeah.
and get into the present. So,
Okay, I love that. I love that you touched on like that if you have that behavioral flexibility in terms of every day it doesn't need to look the same. I can be flexible in my routine because I think sometimes there's like the standard to have like this beautiful 12-step hour and a half long
yeah,
morning routine and it can
right.
be disappointing when you've decided that that's a thing you're going to do and it doesn't play out the exact same way every day. But I love what a flexible approach you have because I feel like that's, like you said, so realistic that you might not get tapping in every single day at the same time, but you get tapping in at some point, whether it's 5 minutes in the car or it's
Yeah.
like in the bathroom at work for 5 minutes or whatever it is. But like you can definitely make it work with the flexibility.
Yeah, and I think it's such a great tool to kind of get yourself back in. So, like, let's just say, like, if I really want to do a meditation on something, but I can tell my mind is going 5 million different places. Like I'll actually tap really quick, get myself back down, and then usually I can go into that meditation. So it's just there's so many different like ways to use it. And
Hmm.
that's another, it's like I just love it so much.
Okay, I love it. Whenever I have resistance to meditating, because I just feel like I can't sit down and be present for a moment, I will also tap.
You
So
do?
I love
Okay.
that. Yeah, I do. Because I know that the meditation is going to make me feel good. And I know that
Right.
I desire to do it, and that's in alignment with who I am. But if I'm having resistance, I'll tap through it quick and then I'll meditate, which again just helps me be present, like you're saying. So I love that you said that. I can totally relate.
I love that so much. I love that I'm not the only one. I'm super neurospicy, so like it helps me so much to just kind of like bring my brain back in.
Yeah, for sure. Which
Yeah,
sometimes you just need. You know the actions you want to take, you know that it aligns with you, but sometimes just working through that little bit of resistance can be huge.
exactly.
Okay, I love that. Do you have any other like wins or or shares you want to have or anything in reflection of going through the program?
I think really just being comfortable with being seen for
Mm.
like who I am. Yes, yay for neurospicy girlies. We love it here. Um, I think just being comfortable being seen. I don't really realize, like, I didn't realize before just how fearful I was of it. Um, I think that society pushes these boxes on you. And I've always been the why girl. Like, I've always been like, well, why do I have to do it that way? But I was always kind of hesitant to say that and to say that it could be a different way.
Mhm.
And so I think that that's been my biggest win so far is just being comfortable with sharing with friends and family about this journey and feeling like I could actually embody who I am. I knew what I wanted before, but I was like really scared to fully embody her. So that's been like my biggest one, I think, is just being able to allow myself to be seen for who I am.
I love that. And you know what just like lights me up is when people tell me that and we're on an Instagram live and we're like
Yeah.
actively doing things that like create visibility for you. And I'm like, wow, what a testament, like a live testament of how much you've like actually embodied that version of you when you're like showing up and being seen and
Mhm.
doing things like this. Like it's just you just are living the embodiment of what you want. I love that.
Yeah, it's just being like, so I've done TikTok live. I actually used to be like a live host, and like connecting people on
Oh,
live, but I
wow.
never really talked about mindset on there, and that's always
Yes.
something I wanted to do. So this is actually like my first live where I've actually talked about the work.
Hmm.
So it is kind of like a full circle moment for me because I always knew that I kind of wanted to talk about it
Hmm.
on there, but I was always terrified because I was like, well, what are people going to think about that? Like, are they going to think I'm too woo woo? And I'm like, I don't care. You can think what you want to think. Like, this is me. So,
Wow, I love that. Okay, what an empowering, just, thought pattern. What an empowering way of being that you can just show up and be like, this is who I am. Like, it's good
yeah,
because I think it's good.
yeah, it is. It feels so good.
Oh, okay, I love that so much. What would you say to anybody that's on the fence about joining the Supply method?
I would say definitely tap into like if it's aligned for you. I think that it's going to be aligned for most people, but I also love it, so I'm a little biased. But I also think like I like to tell people kind of what I went through of like you if you don't write your own story, if you don't decide where you're going, someone else is going to write it for you. And so if you're on the fence and you kind of need that support, but you don't really know, like I think this is going to be beautiful, like a really beautiful program for you because it's not just teaching you coaching, it's teaching you the subconscious work to kind of really get deep on like what you want and also like how you can support other people in that journey, whatever that looks like for you.
I love that. And there's so many different ways in which you can support people. So that's
Yeah.
so cool. Okay, I love that. Where can we follow along with your journey?
Mindset Over Hustle
Hmm.
is my account. That's on all social handles is Mindset Over Hustle. And Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay, I love you. So, or I love that. So, I love you.
I love you
So,
too.
so you're on TikTok, Instagram, all the things?
Yes.
Okay.
TikTok, I haven't actually posted on that one yet, but
Yeah.
I do have that handle, so maybe I'll post today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
I
same
love
across.
that. Thank you so much for chatting with us. Do you have any last words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Um, gosh, I would just say really tap into your fear of like what's holding you back in life. Like tap into those feelings. I feel like the icky feelings are the ones that we tend to hide from and run from. But a lot of times, those are the most powerful ones for the transformation that we need. So we might know that we're not happy, but we just focus on that happy piece instead of saying, like, what else am I feeling? And
Mm.
why am I feeling that? So I would say tap into the fear, the hurt, whatever it is that that icky feeling is in you, because I think that if you acknowledge it and really kind of work towards resolving that, that's when you start to see the other side, right? So that's what I would say.
Oh, that is so good. That is such a good way to end. That is such good advice. I literally love that.
Thanks.
Ah, okay, well, Terri'll, it has been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much. You only have, what, 2 more weeks in the program and then you graduate?
Yeah, yeah, 2 more years. Oh, 2 more years. Oh my God. Wait, 2 more years? Did I just say?
Yeah, forever.
Right.
Um,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
this has been so beautiful. I hope you have a lovely day and I'll see you
Thank
next week.
you. Thank you for having me. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.